Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Weather on the Go. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday morning out there. Lots to talk about in this video here. We have a lot of severe weather that occurred yesterday here on your Wednesday. A lot of damaging wind reports across the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic here from portions of southeastern Indiana through Kentucky, down into Virginia here in the Carolinas. We also had a scattering of some hail reports across portions of Montana here as well, with some golf ball size hail being reported up in those areas. We even had 4 tornado reports here across portions of the U.S., especially into eastern Colorado and central portions there of Montana as well. We did have a total of 300 severe weather reports today, so on your Wednesday, fairly significant severe weather day from yesterday as well. And that looks to continue here as we head into this afternoon. We got that zonal flow continuing here across the northern U.S. here, just to the north of a stronger mid and upper level ridge that'll be anchored across the south central plains in the southeast. To the north of there, that's where you have that kind of zonal flow, and that will continue as we head into this afternoon. We got a lot of heat to the south here from southeastern Kansas down through Oklahoma, much of Texas here, Arkansas, and much of the southeast, the Gulf Coast states here. The highest temperatures will be occurring across portions of Oklahoma down into North Texas, where we could have 105 to 110 degrees for highs as we head into late this afternoon. But like I said, to the north of there, we have some mid-level disturbances caught in that westerly flow here, kind of that zonal flow from the Pacific, and that's where we have all that active weather here with the instability starting to grow as well, especially when you have some of that, dew points in the lower to middle 60s and then getting up into the lower 70s as well. Especially the higher dew points across the middle Missouri Valley here in those marginal risk areas, you definitely could be here seeing some isolated severe weather. So this is the day one outlook here, the Storm Prediction Center, showing that marginal risk again here from the central plains down into the Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, eastern Colorado once again, and then stretching over toward the Kansas City area, southern Iowa, northern Missouri here, the Illinois Valley. But then we have 2 slight risk areas, one across the Tennessee Valley here to the Carolinas and Virginia, and then another one across portions of Montana, getting into the western portions there of the Dakotas. We do have a couple 2% area of risk zones for tornadoes today, one across east central Montana, another one up into portions of the Kansas City area across northeast Kansas, northwestern Missouri. So we definitely have to watch that here later this afternoon and early this evening. We also have that 5 to 15% damaging wind risk here across portions of this outlook area across the northern U.S. mainly. That marginal to slight risk for damaging winds here, that 5 to 15% chance for damaging winds. Like again, the higher wind risk here areas across the slight risk zones across Montana, the western Dakotas, and then from the Tennessee Valley, the Carolinas into Virginia. And then we have kind of a lower end hail risk extending down into the western Great Plains here today. The higher hail concentration and type of areas will be across portions of Montana. We do even have a 15% hatched hail risk across central and eastern Montana here, where we could see that 2-inch or larger hail of that golf ball size hail once again, or larger possibly across some of these areas near the Billings area, and then getting up toward the Helena, Montana area as well. You do notice across the portions of the central United States, getting in towards the southeast and Tennessee Valley, not much of a hail risk here across those areas here, as instability in the shear values will actually be kind of unsupportive of the large hail threat. But nonetheless here, this is the composite reflectivity here later today. This is actually during the morning hours. We do have complex of some showers and storms across southern Iowa, northern portions of Missouri, getting down toward the St. Louis area here during the morning. Maybe a couple isolated storms up into portions of western North Dakota as we head into the morning today as well. As we head later into the daytime today here, mid to late afternoon, we kind of have an MCV moving across portions of central and southern Illinois here, bringing some showers and storms organizing across the St. Louis area, the Springfield, Illinois area, getting down to downstate Illinois. A couple of showers and storms developing across western portions there of Minnesota as well. But then as we go towards peak heating of the day here today, we got kind of a scattering of storms like we did today, with multiple warnings here across the northern and northeastern United States here, from portions of the Rockies through the northern plains down through the Illinois Valley, and then here that's in that slight risk zone from the Tennessee Valley getting into the Carolinas and Virginia again, with mainly here that large hail and especially the damaging wind risk across these areas. The large hail risk will kind of be more maintained up across portions there of Montana, so definitely have to watch that. But then as we shift into your Friday here tomorrow, we still got the continuation here of the zonal flow across portions of the northern U.S. here. We got that strong ridge to the south, and the same setup here as we head into Friday here. We got all that heat continuing across the southern U.S. Once again, 105 to 110 down towards portions of North Texas, getting into southern Oklahoma. Here's some hundreds being expected near the Little Rock area. But again, the cooler, relatively speaking, the cooler air here up to the north. We still got some mid 80s, but definitely here seeing that storm activity across the northern U.S. once again. We got all that low-level moisture continuing here to advect northward here from the Gulf of Mexico here across portions of the Tennessee Valley, getting down to the southeast and then kind of inching its way up here into the Midwest as well. And that will actually contribute to some moderate and even at times pockets of strong instability, or CAPE as we call it, convective available potential energy. And that will kind of fuel the storms as we head into your Friday afternoon. And therefore, the Storm Prediction Center's Day 2 outlook has another slight risk across much of Montana, with a marginal risk of severe weather extending down here from the Dakotas all the way down to the Texas Panhandle as we head into your Friday afternoon. And then a large marginal risk area here across downstate Illinois and Indiana into portions of eastern Missouri. This includes the St. Louis area, getting down here through much of Tennessee, Kentucky, portions of the Carolinas into Georgia. This does include the Atlanta metro area down towards Nashville here and towards the Myrtle Beach area here as well. We do have a 2%, kind of a larger 2% area here of tornadoes across downstate Illinois, getting into portions of Indiana, including the Indianapolis area, Springfield, Illinois, getting down towards St. Louis here, and then into Kentucky, the southwestern portions there of Ohio as well, including kind of the Cincinnati area as well. We could have some supercell thunderstorms with kind of a complex moving through during the morning hours here on your Friday, of some heavy rainfall on your Friday morning. But as we get into the afternoon, that complex will kind of translate across northern Illinois, central Illinois with some heavier rainfall. Will kind of destabilize the atmosphere here, and we'll start to see an explosive development of some thunderstorms downstate Illinois here as we head into your Friday evening, and then some explosive storm development back to the west across Montana in that slight risk zone, and then down the western Great Plains as well. So that will be something to watch, and that'll kind of translate to the east here, kind of another MCV, or what we call it, a mesoscale convective vortex. Will kind of progress across the Ohio Valley as we head into the overnight hours here on your Friday into your Saturday, bringing more of that severe weather kind of organizing across that area. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a smaller slight risk zone upgrade here across portions of downstate Illinois and into the Ohio Valley here. We'll have to see as we head into later on Friday. Generally here, the next 24 hours or so, you can definitely expect here some decent rainfall across portions of Illinois, southeastern Iowa, into northeast Missouri. Kind of averaging around that, 3/4 to an inch and a quarter type of variety of rainfall amounts. As you get into the southeast, here's some sporadic rainfall here from a 1/4 inch up to upwards of an inch, especially the outer banks here of the Carolinas, and then some heavier rainfall amounts getting up into the northern plains here as well. Then as we transition here into your Saturday afternoon, still got that zonal flow continuing across the northern U.S. here, starting to see some, hints of a trough starting to develop across the Pacific Northwest, and that'll actually here kind of start to ease its way to the east here as we head into later in the weekend, and providing another severe threat as we head into that Saturday-Sunday timeframe as well. But generally, as we head into Saturday afternoon, once again, a lot of heat starting to build back here into the central and even the northern plains here as we head into Saturday. Ahead of this trough, we have temperatures rising to the middle and upper 90s, all the way up into the Dakotas here, into portions of Wyoming. We got temperatures near 105 to 110 down in Texas here once again. The Dallas-Fort Worth area could be closing in on 110 on your Saturday here, July 9th. We got a lot of heat across the desert southwest from Death Valley towards portions of Phoenix there, approaching that 112 mark. And then we got all that heat kind of extending across portions of the Gulf Coast here as well. But turning our attention here to the eastern Pacific, here to the tropics, we got Hurricane Bonnie continuing to kind of spin out across portions here of the eastern Pacific. Pretty well organized here. You got some deep convection here with some whites and pinks showing up here, showing those thunderstorm tops, those updrafts here kind of around the center of the hurricane there, and that is kind of pushing off to the west-northwest as well. That's moving west-northwest here at 14 miles per hour. Right now it's come down from the winds earlier was at 105, so now it's down to 100 miles per hour, but still a pretty formidable hurricane, and that will continue to be hurricane status through at least early Friday, so we'll have to watch that. Looks like it'll start to weaken here to a tropical storm and then eventually tropical depression status as we head through the weekend as it moves over some cooler waters. And you can see the cooler waters across the eastern Pacific here right now, some cooler anomalies, and that's what that will start to move in here to the west and kind of start to lose its luster as it does so. But then we're also looking at here the next 5 days, another kind of system we're watching across the eastern Pacific, again over the open waters just south of Bonnie, another, a decent area here of potential of some tropical development. The National Hurricane Center is giving this a 70% chance of development the next 5 days. This is across portions of the eastern Pacific, and this will move from east to west across the open waters here as well. Well, do stay tuned. I will have another video here kind of updating you on the severe weather threat as we head towards later this weekend into early next week here. Another video for that later this afternoon. Do be sure to like this video, however. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel here as well. I definitely appreciate that. And also remember to, put any comments and questions down here as well, and I will definitely be able to answer those as well. And I'll also stay tuned and turn on all notifications, as I will also be going live later this afternoon covering all of that severe weather as well. So thank you for watching, everybody, and have a great Thursday out there.